It's Wednesday, and hello, Mr. Wednesday. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. I'm back home from tour and recharging my batteries. Been out for 54 days on the road.
So I have to ask, how does it feel? I mean, you're getting home after so many days on the road, constant traveling, different schedules, different time zones, and everything in between. How does it feel?
Oh, it's great to be back home. It feels weird. The first couple days, it doesn't even feel real. It's
Mm.
hard to explain. Like it's for people that don't do this a lot. I mean, just imagine leaving your home for 2 months
No, I
and just
cannot.
traveling for 2 months. Like it's people do vacations for a week, a year, and they miss their home. Like it's so to go out and do that and to come back, it doesn't feel real the first 24 hours. I'm just kind of soaking it in. But no, it's great to be back. It's great to be on tour. I love traveling. I love doing that. But about this amount of time is about as long as I can take. That was a very long tour. But it was a good time though. We had a good time. The record came out during the tour and it was good.
Yes, I can attest to that. That it was a great tour. Although I watched only one show in Joliet, and that was
Okay.
a freaking great show.
Oh,
So
great.
thank you for that.
Awesome.
It's interesting because this tour was at the same time celebrating the 20th anniversary, and as you said, the new record came out. Although at the end of the tour, you were playing new songs.
Yes.
Watching the audience and seeing a really big age range. You will
Yeah.
see the regular metal has the with the gray hair like myself, but you will
hmm
see youngsters. So how do you um, see this, not generation gap, this generation range, let's say? How do you witness this? How do you experience?
it's new. It's brand new to me. I saw it when we toured back in 2023. I started noticing a younger fan base because in the States here you will see the X's on their hands
Right.
and the front row is just the front two rows were all younger and just their enthusiasm and their energy is different than the older people. Like guys like us, we're tired. We used to be up front screaming. Now we're in the back. Now the kids are up front. So the younger generation has discovered Wednesday 13 and Murder Dolls, and it's new to me, and it's a great thing. I mean, it's I didn't expect this. It's a whole new generation has discovered me. Every day I do my VIPs, and it's half of it are young kids, and I say, "How long have you been listening to the band?" And they're like, "Oh, 2 years." I'm like, it's crazy, and that's but they're here now, and so I've been doing this for 23 years with Murder Dolls. So with this younger generation, I'm hoping it gives me another 23. This is new to them, so it's something I wasn't expecting, and it's really cool to see it firsthand, just to see these younger kids saying that you're my favorite band. I just discovered you 2 years ago. Like, wow.
You know what? This may sound cheesy, but it's up. I don't want to call the old guard or the older generations,
hmm
but we need to pass the torch, right?
Yeah.
Because at some point, especially, and I can blame the pandemic because we lost a couple of years.
Yeah.
We had people that they didn't have gone to a show, a single show. So now
hmm
seeing Wednesday 13, that he has so many years on his back, performing like that,
Yeah.
it's extremely important and crucial for the livelihood of this scene.
Yeah, yeah, the live scene, it's still recovering from the COVID days, and
I agree.
but that's where I live. The live set. That was the first time I had a break. I hadn't taken a break in 18 years when COVID hit. But now that we've came out of that, we've got the ball rolling again, and it feels like it's back to normal. It feels like things are doing better again. It's crazy. Just this whole new generation discovering us has given us a whole new life, and it's exciting again. Not that I was bored doing what I was doing or playing for the older fans, but to have a new generation find you is a very cool thing.
Yeah, absolutely. The only, let's say, caveat in this is that you have to play a Murder Dolls song. You cannot get away from that.
Yeah.
Never now.
No, well, you know what? That's not a bad thing. I never wanted to get rid of those songs anyway. And when I went back and revisited that stuff a few years ago, I realized how important it was to the fans and myself.
Mhm.
That music reignited this album. It reignited that inside of me that made me want to play music, and I made a really strong record out of that. So Murder Dolls is it saved me many times. It saved me in the beginning. It saved me again. It's you know, and Joey Jordison changed my life with that band, and so I don't ever look at it as a chore. The only thing I find difficult these days is I've got so many songs I can't make a set list. It's
That's what I
impossible.
was talking about. I didn't say
That
get rid
yeah
of those songs. I was saying you have such an amazing album.
yeah.
Oh, you cannot put all the songs there.
It's crazy. It's so difficult to make a set list, but I guess I guess that's kind of a good thing to have. A
Right,
lot of
right.
people like these songs, you know.
And that is, if you allow me to do a comment, to make a
Hmm.
comment, it's in every show you mention Joey,
Hmm.
even after all these years. To me, that speaks volumes, volume for your character, because sometimes the metal scene and even musicians tend to forget people, and for especially people that they have worked with them, helped with them, and all that stuff. So I don't know. I tip my hat to you.
Thank you. Well, you know the thing about Joey is I just don't talk about him on stage. I talk about him daily, and I always say Jordison. I always call him like a military Jordison. You know, it's just I always speak as if he's here, and I feel like
Mm.
he is. He is here. He will always be here. During COVID, I lost Joey and I lost my mom, and that was the two closest people in my life, and I still speak of them highly. I speak of them daily. I speak of them all the time because they're always going to be there with me. So when I do these shows and I'm playing those songs and that part of the set, you know, I always bring him up because, like I said, he gave me this opportunity, and you know, and you know, it was just something I have to do, and I continue to do it. You know,
Mhm.
it's he's I don't think he got enough recognition for what he did, and that's beyond myself. Like that dude changed drumming.
Right.
I mean, he is literally no one sounded like him, and now everybody sounds like him because of him.
Perfectly said.
Yeah.
So, what do you mean that there's no such thing as monsters? What's happening?
Oh yeah. That's basically that's a lie.
That's
You know, I don't know. When I started doing the intro for that record, there's in the original Wizard of Oz movie, Dorothy's like clicking her heels, and I think she's saying there's no place like home. There's no place like home. And I just started doing this. There's no such thing as monsters. I just imagine some little kid sitting in his bedroom with his sheets
ah,
pulled right up over, and he's telling himself there's no such thing as monsters, but he's looking right at one. That's what I imagined this intro as. Because I was that kid, you know, when I watched Nightmare on Elm Street. My dad said it's going to scare you to death, and I'm like, okay. And I remember after I watched it, I was in my bed and I was with the sheet over, and I thought Freddy Krueger was coming to kill me.
don't tell me that you enjoyed being scared, because I was scared shitless with that movie, man.
I was, I must have enjoyed it because look what I do. I mean, it's that always just, yeah, that Nightmare on Elm Street and Halloween were terrifying to me. They were brand new movies. The characters hadn't been ruined by the franchise yet. It hadn't. It was fresh. It was real, and it was real. It felt real.
So there are monsters, but we tell ourselves that there aren't because we are scared of them, right?
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes. Yeah.
So
It's what we fear.
if you were to compare the song making process between Horrifier and Mid Death Crisis, because those two albums, they do not sound the same.
They're not. They're not the same. I'm not the same as I was on that record. That was a record, like I said, that was during COVID. It was like, okay, go record this record. And it was literally, I started tracking, or not even recording, but like writing the process for it a couple weeks after Joey died. And it was just, it didn't feel right. But I had to get this record out. It was a contract thing with my label. And, um, I made a record that I like the music on it, but I don't like me. I don't like coming out of it. And this the whole recording process just it was a little forced. And so with this new album, this was to this was revenge for me on this album. It was
Mm.
I could go back and correct everything that I didn't like about that record, and that's what I do on every record. I go, what? Let's make it better. I want to, and I did that with this. I wanted to have fun on this album, and I hoped I would. I didn't know if I would, but I went in and I had a blast, and I think the result you hear that I had a good time on this.
So basically, you're describing how an album is a capture of the artist's life,
Oh, 100%.
right?
Band people don't realize that. Some people may go, "Oh man, I don't like this record as much, or this record's different." And it's like, well, every record I look at, I got 10 albums now. I can tell you every record of what was going on in my life.
Of course.
I can go, okay, well, the first one, that was my first album. I was straight off Murder Dolls. I couldn't have been happier. Everything was going great. Second album, everything was kind of starting to go downhill. I was getting a divorce or heading toward divorce.
Ugh.
The third album, it's like everything, and it's just it, I look at it. It's like yearbooks. I look back on it and go,
Yeah,
"Whoa,
yeah.
I did some. That's my life in music." And and that's why some records might have great music, but in my mind, it's not the best. I can't look at it the same way. There are records I look at sometimes and go, oh, I don't want to play that because, I'm trying to look at it differently now. I think I do look at it different now, but before I would look at stuff, I'm not touching that record because I didn't like it. So Horrifier is that record for me now. I'm going, what do I do with that album? When's it going to be good to me to touch it? But I did hear the song Good Day to Be a Bad Guy last night. I hadn't listened to it in a while, and I realized that's a very cool song.
It is.
And if there's one shining moment on that record, it's that song, and I think that song is so good that it makes that record stay afloat. It keeps it above water because without that song, I think it would have suffered. That was the one, and I had wrote that for Murder Dolls. I had that ready for Joey, and it didn't happen. So that was the one song I knew I had good, and
Mm.
everything else I just kind of fell below it. I thought.
I feel kind of bad now because I liked Horrifier, and you
Yeah.
blasted that. Thank you.
No. Like I said, I like the music on it. There's some cool music on it. I just the whole period was not. It's hard
I,
not for me to think about. I need a few years for it to get by me before I can look back on it. Like
I
even the
understand.
Calling All Corpses record. I didn't like that record for a long time because it was fresh out of the last Murder Dolls, and I just went to Japan, and that earthquake had happened, and I had crazy PTSD from the earthquake, and that was my earthquake album, and I couldn't listen to it for a long time. Now I listen to it and go, man, that's a cool record, but I couldn't listen to it before. So it's
Yeah, it was kind of a trigger for you.
yes.
Oh,
So
okay.
Horrifier is the new earthquake album.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay,
Yeah,
let's
yeah.
let's touch upon that 5 years from now.
I'm sure it'll be okay, but it's just still fresh now.
So, mid-death crisis is what happens after midlife crisis.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah. I
let's
had
take it.
to yeah, I think I say it in the My Funeral song. I'm laughing all the way to the grave. At this point, it's just I grew up on the Motley Crue, you know, live fast, die young, rock and roll lifestyle, and here I am. I'll be 50 next year, and I'm on album 10. So that didn't work out. So I'm like, all right, what's next? And the title for the record was just I was backstage recently last year. I was complaining about getting older, and I was like, my daughter's turning 27. I've got a granddaughter, and I was just I was ranting, blah 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 blah, and my drummer walks by and he said, "Sounds like you're going through a mid-death crisis." And then he popped out, and he's like the comic relief. He just pops in and says something funny, and we all laughed. And I went, "That's a great song title, maybe even an album title." And I just kind of made a mental note on it, and that became the title, and it sort of became the whole theme of the record. Like the first song I wrote was "My Funeral," it was just kind of like, oh, just kind of laughing about getting old. It just became this satire, just laughing all the way to the grave. What else can you do? And it's like nobody gets out of this life alive. So
Correct. Correct.
enjoy it.
I just got a glimpse of how, because you are a master of wordplay,
Thank you.
the lyrics are so easy they roll out of your tongue. It's easy to remember. It's easy to sing along. And then they are funny, but not so funny
Mhm.
sometimes. So that's
Yes.
something that I really appreciate that. I appreciate it. And
Yeah.
go on, sorry.
Yeah, I don't know where I've heard this from, and I think it's Alice. I get it all from Alice, and I
Mm-hmm.
all of my inspiration comes from my heroes, and maybe it's like someone said Alice walks a fine line between comedy and tragedy,
Mm-hmm.
and he keeps it realistic because life you got your laugh, you got your ups, your downs. It can't be too serious, and that's how I like to keep it. I don't want to be too funny. I don't want it to be always funny. I want to have, I'm kind of, I don't ever want you to figure me out. I want it to be, at any moment I could turn on you and cut your head off.
Okay.
You know, so that's the kind of persona I keep with the lyrics. I don't want it to be, oh, Wednesday's always going to have a song like Decapitation, which is a great song. And that's the humor side of what I do. And then you got a song like I Hurt You or In Misery, which is a little
Mm.
darker and a total different subject. So I like the balance. I don't ever want to be too Weird Al Yankovic about it. And
Uh,
get
I, I think it's gonna be hard to not be too weird because you
no, no,
always
no.
be
But
weird, and that's why we love you, man. Come on.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I get it. It's just, but yeah, I have to, I always, like Beetlejuice has always been that kind of
Mm.
character for me. He was always funny, had great one-liners, and then at the end of the movie, when he's got to get scary and turn it on, he turns it on. And that's where I just always say Beetlejuice is he's my spirit animal.
You mentioned Motley Crue. So when the
Yes.
devil commands, the
Mhm.
beginning has a Doctor Feelgood vibe, right?
I didn't notice that till people started saying it, and then I went, "Yes, okay, I can hear it now." That really wasn't the intention, but I guess now that after hearing that, I can hear where it came from. For me, I wanted the simple riff. That is a one-handed riff. You don't have to. It's one string, the riff of that song. And in my mind, when I started writing a riff, I said to myself, I want to make an easy song. People can move their head to it. And my mind, I said I wanted to write something, a simple Thunder Kiss 65 riff is what I said and to me. And
Hmm.
it turns out it's in that world, it's in Dr. Feelgood world. Um, Also, it's the band Killing Joke. It's kind of got a vibe from them, which I later found out that Motley Crue got their Dr. Feelgood riff from Killing Joke.
Okay.
So I think if you did the deep dive on it, it probably comes from the band Killing Joke, where But
Uh, you know
I'm all
what?
in, I'm all in good company with it because I love both of those bands probably equally.
And that's fine. That's perfectly okay. Somebody told
Yeah.
me in another interview that, you know what? Everything that was to be written or played has been done. So, and
Yes.
sometimes, if something feels good, case in point, Doctor Feel Good,
Yeah. 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 So
it will
that's
feel good.
but yeah, there's influences all over that
I'm
song
not,
and
I'm
this
not
whole
saying
record.
this in
Yeah.
a negative way.
Yeah.
A personal question related to this song: is there any connection when the devil commands between when the devil commands and Serpent Society? I was hoping that you would do those two songs in sequence.
Oh, I love Serpent Society. That song that's one of my favorites of Wednesday later era records.
Yeah,
But no, there's nothing to do with them, but they're definitely in the same world, and I'll definitely bring Serpent Society back to the live stage.
perfect. I can take credit for that.
Yes, yes.
No apologies. You have Tammy
Mhm.
in that. Did he contribute to the song making at all, or did you provide everything for him?
I had it all set for him because it was kind of last minute that he came into the studio. Like when I brought No Apologies in, I had the guitar riff and I was playing it, and we were already tracking the rhythm guitars, for the song. I'd already did the vocals
Mm-hmm.
for the song, and I came in last minute and I added the main guitar part. You hear, na, 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 na. That was the last minute. That wasn't in the original. And I went, this part I added to it. And when I did it, our producer said, "Oh, that's killer. That kind of sounds like, kind of reminds me of Faster Pussycat." And I went, "Oh, well, how I learned how to play guitar was from Faster Pussycat when I was younger. I learned how to play their first album. It was kind of my first sort of guitar lessons." And then he was like, "Oh, you should call up Tammy, get him to sing on it." And I was like, "It's a good idea." So it was sort of last minute, and I hit him up and said, "Dude, would you want to come down to the studio?" And he was said, "Yes, tell me when and where." And he showed up, and I just just had him record over my second verse. And I went, "All right, just," I said, "There's the words. Here's the sheet. Be you." Do Tammy. And the first take that he did, I think he just because he had heard what I'd already sang, he did me. And I heard the playback and I went, "That sounds good." I was like, but
It
I was
sounds like
like I was like, "Do you?" And we started laughing. And I was starting going, "Man, I can't believe I'm in the studio on the talk back texting with the dude that, when I was 11 years old, I'm learning how to play Faster Pussycat songs, so it was a super cool thing. And Tammy and I are friends. We've known each other for a long time. And it was cool. We got to be like in a band for a couple hours, and his band guys were there too. They went in and sang background vocals, so they're on the na na nas at the end of the song. So yeah, it was just a cool, fun experience. And it was, I put Tammy up there with Alice Cooper and all my heroes. When I had Alice on my record a few years ago, that was a big deal. Having Tammy on this is just as big of a deal.
one thing I would like to share with you. Somebody told me while we were waiting for you to come up on stage.
Hmm.
He was an old timer like myself, and he said, "You know what? Wednesday 13 is the continuation of Alice Cooper." And these young kids probably they don't realize that.
Probably not, but I hear that a lot, and I hear Alice Cooper comparisons. I mean, almost daily, or anytime I read anything, or especially with this new album. If you go and look at our video, we have 3 music videos out now, and there's comments. There's been almost a 500,000 views on all the videos. And if you go through the comments and just graze them, you will
Mm-hmm.
see Alice Cooper's name every 3 to 4 comments. I did it. I went and I was showing some of the guys in my band. I went, "Look at this. It's just," and these are strangers. These are not my. These are just random comments on YouTube, and you will see it nonstop. And it's people like that saying exactly what that dude said to you. This is like new Alice Cooper. Holy shit! This is Motley Crue Alice Cooper. This is, and then people will say Marilyn Manson too, because people hear with their eyes. They see it and, oh, it's,
Right, right.
but I get the Alice comparison, and I don't hear anybody else that gets compared to Alice Cooper.
No, because he is unique. And
Yes,
getting to say that Wednesday 13 is a continuation of him is a huge honor.
it is. It is.
Because we don't have many bands like that. As you said, Alice Cooper, done. There's no one else.
There's no one like him. There's no one as, and I am the, and I'm honored that people think that way, but I feel like I'm carrying the torch for him.
Yes.
Like because it's not just Alice with a snake. You got to know I know he's my favorite. I know everything about him, and
Right.
it's what's made me be what I am.
Xanacstasy. Why did you decide to re-record that?
I forgot about that song actually. I had almost all the music ready for this album. I had all the songs lined up. There's some songs we didn't record, but I had a whole list of songs. I had enough songs. And on my Facebook page, an old friend of mine posted a YouTube clip of Xan Ecstasy that I released in maybe 2009, 2010. Hadn't thought about this song in that long. And I listened to it and went, whoa, that's a really cool song. And of course, I'm listening to it, remembering how I recorded it. It's a studio demo. It was originally written for my Gunfire 76 band.
Mhm.
Uh, and when I heard it, I went, man, this is, and I read the comments. And there's so many comments. People saying this is the best Wednesday 13 song. Man, I wish he would have put this out on a record. Blah blah blah. And I just went, okay, I'll do exactly what I'll
Here we
redo
go.
this song. But what I did is I wanted to redo it because originally it was for my older band, and that band wrote in a different tuning. So this Xan Ecstasy is in a different tuning. You can't really tell that much, but it's a different tuning. And lyrically, I wanted to change it up a bit, and I think I made the chorus a little stronger. But either way, it's a revision of that song. I'm not here to say it's better than the original
No.
because it's some people that heard the original. It's never going to be as good. I'm the same way with Twisted Sister when they re-recorded "Stay Hungry." It's never going to be as good as that original. They may
Yeah.
think it's better, but it's not. So it's in the ears of the beholder, I guess.
I found my way away from home. Love that line, man.
Yeah.
um, so, what is your plan right now? Rest until you go to cross the pond over to Europe?
I wish I could rest. I wish there was a way to turn this off.
Mm.
I don't stop working for this band. I self-manage this band. I do everything. I deal with my booking agents. I deal with my artwork. I'm very much fully functioning on this band constantly. So in this downtime, I'm trying not to stress out. Like I got 2 months. I literally have a board outside with all my list of stuff I have to do, and it's already driving me crazy. I'm like, how am I going to get this done in 2 months? I got to make a new video. So we're going to make a video for the song Decapitation,
Mhm.
and we'll have that out before the tour. It's just a whole list of things. I got to get new stage clothes made. I got to get new in-ear monitors made. There's enough to keep me busy. And then, I live in Los Angeles. There's a tons of shows and friends coming through. So I'll be back on tour before I even know it. But believe me, I won't be sitting around playing with these toys as much as I want to.
Yeah, I understand that. And is there any chance to see again a North American tour this year or early next?
Very early next year. It's already booked and confirmed. We'll be going out as a support act, and I think that's going to be announced soon. There could be maybe a handful of dates, possibly in September. That'd be the only time that we would, but I don't think that's going to work. I think the next time is probably going to be January. That'll be a support tour. But we have so many dates coming up all around the globe, and we're gonna get a lot of mileage out of this album. And things are
As you
things are
should, as you
things are
should.
good. Things are good in this camp right now. We're having fun, and we're getting better being a live band. So
I totally agree. Thank you very much for your time.
thank
Thank
you.
you for the album. Thank you for the live show, and looking already forward to see you again early next year, even as a supporting band.
Oh, it'll be good. I think we got a 40-minute slot, so it's not like so it'll be a good tour. Fans will be excited when they hear what we're doing. So
Okay, then, Seven Society, right?
it needs to come back.
Perfect.
I'm making a note right now. There we go. I got it.
Thank you, man. Have a great rest of your day and week.
All right, dude. Same to you. All
Bye
right.
bye.
Bye bye.